we already sometimes have some what is interrupt. We already discussed about that. For some reason, stop what you are doing and other things is called interrupt. Right now, this is we can say that interrupt. When classroom, as Mr. Joey called to someone guy to interrupt his class. Yes. Okay, Mr. You can go ahead. Okay. Yeah, this is interrupt. Yeah. Interrupt occur. Stop. What you are doing now, do something else, and then yeah, resume the original work. So someone guys are working some paperwork, but customer call to him. Say the call comes from our customer, so we have to stop this doing and have to respond to call. Yes, and finish this call so we can keep filling out paperwork. Getting a call while work is interrupting. Yeah. Oh, fortunately, same here. For example, while writing a document or fish, co-worker tells co-worker or customer is then tell me that the customer waiting to call to me. Okay, we finish call to customer and then keep writing a document again. And this point is just interrupt. So let's take a closer look. It's similar to the interrupt of the counter, even if the CPU is processing an application, processor, or a thread. Interruption occurs when information is input the keyboard, many things, mouse, more other things, or someone guys unplugged with some power cable. And the CPU performs other processing for a short time, and then proceed to the original processing again. Yeah. Now, this PowerPoint is some learning in learning this process. When I sum another key from escape or some power or some closing this laptop, so I have to there's some occurred interrupt. Understanding? Yeah, this is interrupt. And after finish this interrupt, they keep going their application. I don't know what exactly is the syntax, but when coding, it's same. For using loop and some for exit this loop. Yep. Yeah. We can call the sum for if blah 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 exit. If A equal Mr. J, so we can escape this loop. It means that interrupt. On inside loop is just from this here, but someone match this interrupt, and then we can escape this loop. Sometimes many use when coding. These three, are you okay?
Okay.
But your eyes say to me, tired.
No.
Okay, anyway. So interrupting is an urgent task that will stop the ongoing work and then finish the urgent task and then go back to the original work. It's like working in a job, stopping and working, getting a phone call and working again. Especially when a specific event such as keyboard input occur, where the CPU notifies the CPU of the event. Complete the process corresponding to the event and perform the process that continues. Same. Yeah. Understanding what is interrupt? Yes. Okay. Let's look in our some comfortable. Yeah. For example, so networking is discussed in detail in Chapter 6. In the case, it's only necessary to know that data is processed by interruption when data is received via network communication. For example, before that, rest time we some looking around with some MTU, maximum transfer unit. We can call this as an MTU, some this frame. So yeah, real data is Ethernet frame via to this network device. Cancel this CPU and there's a received buffer and process this HTTP process and calculate the send buffer. Before that, when in web server view, this data is received buffer. After processing, change some send buffer and frame Ethernet to the AP server. So when an Ethernet frame arrives at the NIC, it's notified to the CPU by interrupting, and data is received. Yeah. So many times, almost we don't feel. We had to feel the interrupt. Yeah. But so when we receive some data, so NIC real time some call to CPU. Oh, I have some new data, receive data. So the process information used by the CPU that is transferred to memory and the transferred data processed in the kernel mode. So when finished, the suspend process will resume processing. Took a picture? Okay. Summarize. On interrupt is an event driven. Yeah. This is event. So structure that contract you when something happened. On the other hand, there is a way to check the I/O device status by polling. After that, we will educate this polling. What is polling? By polling the CPU periodically, but if the polling interval is long, yeah, it will not notice immediately after finish I/O is complete. Yeah. What is polling? If the interval is short, polling is frequently, which increases CPU load. The status update frequency of the I/O device is not higher than the CPU operation speed. Therefore, it is effective to control by using interruption rather than polling, so it adopts interruption. Next unit, so we can see more detail. Sometimes can use this interrupt more profit than using polling. Is all. So let's compare the interruption and polling from the more micro perspective. The phone is interruption and the email is polling. For example, so when I receive anything, this phone is some screen. So when I touch, and then some response. This is some more profit. So we can imagine that email service. We have to manually check, or some automatically. Yeah. There are some after send some mail, we don't consider about that. And then sometimes it's just an interval time. Interval time some check. Oh, you got some message. Yeah. This is polling service is more profit in email. Understand?
So interruption is negative one and polling is positive one.
Sometimes. Yeah. I already some interrupt is an event-driven structure. Yeah. Events some happen when service is interrupt. But polling is have there some interval time, so automatically. Yeah. I will explain this later. Some postman guys, so when delivering there some post, email or emails, yeah, this is polling. So I will show you next.